everybody. I am here with my good friend, Dr. Erica Peabody, and we are having brunch.
Brunch.
Is it brunch or lunch? I don't even know.
It's post-yoga mess.
Yeah, so just so you understand, we're like minimal makeup. I do have a little lipstick on. Her eyebrows.
She always does that crap to me. She looks fabulous, and I'm like, I'll watch out.
I'm all minimal though, right? And you look beautiful. So we did shower. We did shower.
We showered.
I've had 2 today.
I have 2. One before,
right?
One after.
So we went to yoga. We had an incredible time. That class was amazing.
We should do a cheers.
Let's do that. Okay, so cheers.
Cheers.
We are toasting because, we should have gone to Toast. Okay, we're
across the street from Toast. Oh, you can see it.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so fun. Okay, so I got to spend Erica's 18th year in practice with her a couple of weeks ago, and guess what today is? It is my 25th year in practice,
amazing.
Right?
Yes.
And so this was just serendipitous that we planned this,
Yeah.
and we got to share each other's
Yes.
anniversaries. So cheers to us.
Yes.
Okay, cheers to you if you've got a cocktail.
So I have to add one more thing, is that we are relatively new friends. However, just new to each other's physical presence. However, I feel like there's like a deep soul sisterhood that is in a different universe.
So I was thinking about that this morning.
Yeah.
And I thought, I have known you for so long. I mean, I've known
lifetimes. When I say lifetimes,
yes.
I get a witness.
Yes. And so I get a witness.
I do. I have like chills from.
And I firmly believe that when you have a connection like that, I'm a big past life person.
Yeah.
This is not our first time around.
It's not our first rodeo.
Yeah. Is that our first? It was my first rodeo. If you all were following me in Austin, it was my first rodeo. And
this is not our first rodeo.
And it is today not our first rodeo. Yeah, that's so great. Yeah, it is not our first round. No, but I love that too, because the connections that you make with people when you just know and you connect. And then I thought, why have we never met before? Which is so bizarre to me.
So it was probably, January when you did Cocktails and Community?
Yes.
And I was like, this isn't my community. It's 20 minutes from my community. I want to go and meet her. And even though we didn't get a chance to really chat that evening, but I'm like, I don't know, I'm just going to meet Paula. I don't know, I have to be in her presence.
I love it.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's really what I did.
I love
That's the only reason why I went.
Well, you know what an honor to have somebody like you just see me from the lens, from behind the lens, and say, wow, like whatever energy I was putting out there was attractive to you, and I think that's for both of us. That's really all we want, because we rely on everything that we do through social media to be able to make a connection with people on the other side. So apparently it's working.
Yeah,
I know.
Something.
I know.
The universe has connected us.
Well,
so we have both coffee.
Yes.
And champagne. So if we're sipping on either one of those, that's just what we're doing. I'm here for it.
I know. So, and she was saying,
that's
what's your
probably
platform? What are we talking about? And I said, I love unscripted. I love organic unfolding of things. But I did say one of the things that I would love to talk to you about today was that we have both had some serious longevity in practice, 18 years, 25 years, and we've both been through some shit. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I mean, humans are humans regardless. And so humaning as a verb is multifaceted.
Which is even worse than adulting.
It's just plain humaning.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, and I think that when we've talked about, so she and I have both been through some pretty severe emotional trauma. You 2 years ago, me about a year ago. And given that, like just the struggle, like what it took for us, we're caregivers. And so first and foremost, we want to take care of our people. Right. We always have to take care of ourselves first. Yeah. But what it required for both of us to drag our asses out of bed, get to the office, take care of our people to our highest and best. Right. I think for both of us, and knowing you, like we never gave anybody less than what they've always deserved. Yep. But it emptied our tanks.
For sure. Right? And I really feel like it was beyond, which is one of the reasons why I started to shift the way that I'm approaching practice this year, is because not only would it empty our tank, it was to the demise
Sure.
It was to my detriment, to my soul's detriment, to continue to give at that level without being able to refill my own bucket, my own soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was, I was able to start, and she and I talked a little bit prior to turning the camera on, but that was the thing. It was like I constantly felt empty,
Yeah.
but yet I had people reaching out to me, and that filled me a little bit. As much as, like I said, you know, spending time in the orbit of people like Erica, it does fill me with joy, but there's such a void in my heart for some other things that that it doesn't. I don't want it to ever be like it's a detriment to being around you.
Right.
But there's other things we need to fill up, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
what were the biggest challenges you had going through some of your experiences?
They're offering
Miles
us
is
more
here
coffee.
to fill up our coffee. Just to top off for some heat. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
No, it's perfect. I mean, it's real
Coffee
life.
and cocktails.
Real life in it. Thank you. So, really, one of the things is like I feel like some days I would wake up and want to
Scream?
not even scream, like curl up in the corner.
Yeah.
Curl up in the corner and not go in. I think one of the biggest differences between Paula and I are you seem to be an extreme extrovert.
Yes.
I'm exactly opposite of that.
Which is so bizarre to me. When I meet somebody like you who we just jive with,
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, how are you an introvert?
Yes.
I don't see that,
So,
but that's,
yes. So I don't get charged up by big groups, but I recharge internally. But then I also realize that I can't be introverted if I'm going to know somebody.
Sure.
If I'm going to get to know somebody, dating world too, but also just colleagues and friends. Like I can be super duper open and have great conversation one-on-one.
Yeah.
It really fills my heart. But for the most part, it's really about going into the office. I have to put on to build rapport with people. I can't be that.
Right.
I have to be more than that. And so that sometimes would take from me. And so some mornings I would just want to curl up in a corner and not go in. But I really look at it like life is I've booby trapped my life. I have to show up.
Right.
You have to show up. There's
Right.
no way around it.
Right. Yeah, there's no one else for us, right?
No.
It's us.
Yep.
It's up to us.
Yep.
And I was explaining to Erica that there were so many days that I would wake up and because people are like, "Wow, you're doing amazing. You're doing these incredible things." And I was like, "Yeah, if I don't move forward at 1,000 miles an hour, the abyss is crumbling at my heels.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I'm gonna fall, right?
Yeah.
So I think, and maybe that was easier as an extrovert to pour into running forward,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And doesn't mean that I didn't want to curl up in a ball because
Yeah.
I'd go to the office and I would take care of people,
Right.
and then at the end of the day, I was flat empty. If you called and said, "Do you want to have dinner?" I'd be like, "No, I have to go to bed." Like that was it. I was like to the office, took care of people, home in bed.
Yep.
You know.
I realized through this time one of my highest values, and we had actually chatted about this before we turned the camera on, is progress.
Yeah.
Fast, slow, big, small, something to move forward on.
Yeah.
And whatever that was. And so for me, inside of all of that we've been through, especially with the pandemic and all the things, it's just I'm booby trapped to move forward somehow, some way.
Which is good though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good booby trap.
It's the great. In fact, I get chills head to toe just saying that. It's the greatest thing that we can do because it's so easy to just curl up in a corner, turn on a movie, grab the phone, do whatever it is. But quite frankly, I have to nourish myself properly to do it. I need to get my own movement in. I need to make sure I'm getting the rest proper in order to show up for other people.
Yeah.
So always, no matter what, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a great point because I have had clients who've gone through emotional challenges and they just completely fall off the cliff, right? They start eating like shit, they don't exercise, they don't move, they don't breathe, they don't stay connected to people. And for me, it actually forced me to I was going to exercise more. I needed to eat as clean as possible because I knew that emotionally that was going to be a big deal. I did actually pour more into myself and my health than anything. And so, that's a big lesson, is that we can't allow ourselves to die and shrivel up as much as we wanted to, right?
Yes.
Oh my God. I mean, like the pain, right? The emotional pain of it that makes you want to just curl up in a ball. But you look back and I go, wow, I'm so proud of what I've accomplished through the shit. And I said, the end of the year came, so the end of 2022, and I said, wow, the best and worst year of my life. If I could accomplish what I accomplished, which I did, in the face of the best and the worst, then game on. Right? Game on.
That's the booby trap.
You look into your resilience. It really gives you're able to look in the mirror and go, I'm really a fucking badass. Right?
Yes. The other part about that is I think on the daily, as we work with patients, they're dealing with their own things.
Right.
We get to witness human resilience across the board, across many things. And so when you witness that, then you're like, and I chatted about this with another interview that I was in, I've survived 100% of my days so far. Knock on wood, right? But 100%, I'm like batting 100%, like that's legit. And then the other thing is that I always bank at the end of the day, even we were chatting last night over text message, it was like, my day tomorrow's new. And there's something as the years go by that a new day feels so fresh and new to me. And it's like, I realize that it truly is a reset button. And if we can look at that like a new day, like when the sun goes down and the sun rises, that's one of our constants in life. I just take that as like fresh and new, and I get a new start. I get a fresh start. I also love Sundays because I get a fresh start of the week. But every day we start new.
It's a great point because it gives you something to look forward to. And I think oftentimes people don't have anything to look forward to. But if you can just whittle it down to the simplest of things, like tomorrow's a new day. It's a new opportunity. And to me, I was like, I just wanted to go to sleep. Because then I could turn the pain off for a few hours. But I always did look at the next day as like, hopefully it'll be a little better tomorrow. Maybe it'll be a little bit better. Maybe, and it didn't feel that way for a long time, but then it did. And it doesn't until it does. And I think that, hope, prayer, meditation, just staying connected to your relationships. I think that's a big thing, is that being able to know that you have strong relationships around you. When you were going through all of your stuff, who did you lean on? Like, what was your...
So I always call my mom and my stepdad part of my board of directors. So they're that, but it was whoever, I shouldn't say whoever was around. There's a few people that they're actually long distance from me, but I'm able to use Marco Polo app in particular and do video messages that really helped me. Of course, counseling and therapy. I had a life coach, stuff like that. So that helps too. But just bringing in any resources that I can, and knowing that as strong as I am, as Taurus the bull as I am, we all need help. We need help, and it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to like show up fully present and fully like in it. And
vulnerable.
Go right down the middle, because we can't skirt around. We can only skirt around for so much time, but it's gonna come around the other way. Well, we're gonna have to face it no matter what.
We are, and that was the whole like module 5 is knowing that we have to walk through the fire of what we're going. We cannot dance around the fire. I was sharing with her that a friend of mine, I'm going through her program to help me just become stronger emotionally, figure out, reconnect to my self-worth, my strength. And I know a lot of people would look at you and me who know us, and they're like, wait, you two are, people are like, you're the strongest woman I know. Probably say the same thing about you, but we're human. And so I had to really strip down some emotional things. And I was telling her I got to module 5 of 8, and I couldn't go through module 5 because it really was going to force me to strip the emotional garbage, figure out the trash in my head. And it was hard. And I finally said, okay, I have to go through the fire. I can't dance around the fire. And I actually felt resilient when it came out the other side, right? But
Always.
we are, people look at us as leaders. They look at us as healers. They look at us as, we have this strength. We have a presence. I look at, you have such a strong, badass presence. And I think, too, that's what attracted me to you.
Yeah,
I'm like,
likewise,
oh, my gosh,
right.
And so we look at that level of strength and we think, people don't think we can fall. People
Right.
don't think we can crumble.
Right.
But, man, when we do, we can look at the world around us that we've created and see that level of strength. And people are so willing to then reach down and give you a hand, right?
Right.
So it sounds like you created also a pretty strong social circle.
We have to. And
Yeah.
I think for both of us, just the way that we present in the world, it may look like we literally put capes on and go after our days.
Is it under here?
I
It's
know.
under here. She's got a
mine.
cape under here. Yeah.
I untied mine. But it's okay to not be Superwoman.
Yeah.
And I get, all of our conversations, I just get chills from head to toe. It's like, we're human and we're fractured just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And when we shine the light on the fact that it's okay to do what we do, show up as we do, and also be a fractured human, it allows others to be the same.
Yeah.
The vulnerability allows others to be the same. So we don't have this big mission to be that and show you how amazing that being fractured can be. But I think just the reality of and authenticity of being real with ourselves, with each other, and with other people, it's the juice of life.
Yeah.
It is the spice of life.
And I think people resonate with that story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I think it is easy when you're a healer, when you're in the positions that we're at, for people to hold you to a particular standard and place. And not that when we fall,
Right.
People, I don't think they're like, oh, yay. I think they're like, oh, that just makes, we're human.
Right.
But they're like, oh, I think it makes even a greater connection.
Right.
And I actually was that person that was like, I am Superwoman.
Strap it on,
I can't.
tie it in front, and go take over the universe.
I mean, my cape was strong. I did not allow myself to let down. And so this was a big, I always said that, the universe for me decided that if I was going to lead and help people, I felt like the universe took my head, took me by the back of the head and went, and flushed my head in the toilet. It was and then flushed it a million times, and I was like, oh dear God.
Swirly, didn't they call it a swirly back?
Yes,
Back in elementary school.
Oh my God, I was like, emotional tsunami was how I felt, right?
Oh my gosh,
I mean, years ago
Amen
I was in
that.
Hawaii, and I got caught in an undertow. I was literally at water that was at my shins.
Yeah.
I couldn't move my feet. And then the wave came, and it slammed me down. I will never forget the feeling of this. It picked me up, swirled me around, and slammed me on the ocean floor. And it did that 3 times before I was able to get out of the water. I felt like that for the last 10 months.
Yeah.
It's like,
Pummeled.
Just pummeled. And then I'm like, okay, and then I can come up for air for a minute.
Yeah.
And I've been able to come up for more air, right?
Yeah.
So
I think one of the greatest things is that when you go through the fire or get pummeled by life like that, then you can join others as they're getting pummeled.
Yeah.
And you can be like, oh, I've been there, or I am there. And you know what? Let's link up, and I'll just hold space for that because I've been there.
Yeah.
And it makes us even more relatable. I've always said that the universe throws me lessons that I need to go through, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, all of the above, that then allow me to find the resources that get me to the other side, or at least allow me to have a swimming chance.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think for both of
come
us,
up for air?
yes,
Yeah.
I think for both of us, the physical body motion, and we went to yoga this morning, but it's not normal yoga. It's full on sweat drenched and movement.
Intense.
The movement of that makes movement forward in life. So we were talking a little bit about the music and how music is so in tune with and can spark up and trigger or escalate feelings. And then I said, well, we were also moving. So could you tell in that moment when those things get brought up, the movement that we were doing helps to actually move things through?
Yeah, and that was 100% agreed. I told her, I said, yeah, I could feel some things bubbling up, but then I was like, oh, wait, I'm moving. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Which then goes to how I was telling you when I was at the darkest moments, and I could only focus on something for about 10 minutes at a time, and I'd have to get up and move my body.
Yeah.
So, if you're going through some things, movement is, don't sit in the emotional pain.
Yes.
Get up and move. So whether it's a walk or moving around your house or go clean your bathrooms or something. But movement is so powerful, I think, to, and I didn't actually connect to what you were saying. I didn't connect it to what you were saying until you said what you said, is that, oh, the movement has saved me, right?
Just beyond. Just beyond. And I think that it's so easy to, especially in emotional turmoil, to sit and just sit. And that also goes to physical too. And I think as chiropractors, some of my patients have come in over the years and they're like, oh, I threw my back out and I laid around for a week. And I'm like, that's like the worst thing. Movement is life.
Yes.
And movement helps to nourish our joints. It helps to nourish our minds. And without that, that's my go-to always.
Yeah.
And actually recently, I still have a little bit of a charge and a trigger around some of my stuff that came up. And I was chatting with one of the coaches recently. It was actually 3 weeks ago now. And I walk regularly anyway, and I use that as a catharsis of just walk in a circle with no decisions to be made. And so this coach presented to me, what about doing forgiveness walks, which is basically bringing up whatever it is that's charged and allowing it some oxygen first. For myself, of course, forgiveness of others is one thing, but it's forgiveness of myself.
Sure.
For making that decision, making that part of my life, making that choice. So bringing it up, whatever that is, and then offering a forgiveness walk around it. And I there's a couple songs that I just play on repeat when I'm doing this, and I try not to bawl my eyes out when I'm at the gym because there's a lot of people around, but I'm like, just a couple of really intense songs I'll play and repeat, and it's helped me even shift even more.
I love it. Yeah, I think I never thought about that forgiveness walks, because walks for me in the middle of the day are so healing.
Yes.
Giving
us some
really,
oxygen.
really also
have an intention.
Yeah, and allowing yourself the grace. Yeah. Right? And it's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
We're all human.
Yep.
We all, whether we make mistakes, whether we make these choices, right? So, so I think that's a really powerful message. Is make sure you're forgiving yourself.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes. I was interviewed a couple of weeks ago, and some of my patients have reached out and they're like, as soon as I get quiet, I'm haunted by the should haves and the shouldn't haves of life. And I get that. That's totally human. However, it also is robbing us of our life experience. If we're giving so much energy or trying to ignore and resist giving that energy, we have to move right down through the middle of it. Otherwise, we're not going to live fully.
Yeah. And then every experience is a lesson.
We all have should haves.
Right.
We all have I shouldn't haves.
Right.
Every single one of us. And if you're in denial of that, you're not really being truthful to yourself. And we can live inside of the energy of both of those, or we can sit down with it, have a look, have a conversation with it, and then live more fully. Yeah. And that I'm full on enabled. I just want people to live the most full lives. Yeah.
That's so powerful. I think we all feel, and this is, to me, I said as well that I know there's a lesson. I know there's a lesson for me on the other side. I know there's something bigger for me. There's something bigger for me to help and teach other people. And there could be regrets, right? So we all have regrets for the things when we're feeling the pain. We're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that because now I'm feeling this pain. We want to run from the pain.
Right.
but yet that's such a powerful lesson because I'm still not sure I'm past the point of I would have blown up the last 10 years of my life to forget about it.
Yeah.
I would reverse everything to forget the last 10 years, to forget this person in my life, to eliminate every single memory, to eliminate every single beautiful interaction and encounter.
We're good right now. Yeah, thanks.
I would tell you, I still have like the pain in my heart. I'd still take back all the beautiful moments to get rid of the pain.
Yeah.
I'm not past that yet. And I think there still is a level of deep dive forgiveness, and there's the grace, right?
Yeah.
That I didn't make any mistakes, right? So I'm at that point,
are.
right? I know I didn't make mistakes. I might be accused of doing mistakes. I might be accused of being someone's villain, but that's their story. That's not mine, right? And that's their own journey to walk, is that what do they experience in their hearts that they feel like that they have to throw darts or, cast stones. Right. And to me, that's like mirror, mirror.
Yeah.
We have to look in the mirror, right? Like,
yes, chills again.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that for so many of us when we're going through that, the pain, the fire, the tsunami, whatever it is.
Yeah, emotional tsunami.
Is the emotional tsunami, yeah. Is it understanding that it's an opportunity to look inside of ourselves,
for
right?
sure.
And find those tools. Mm-hmm. So whether it's music, walking, movement, I mean,
breath work.
Breath, yeah. How long do you, I mean, you're still going through it. It's been a couple years now, right? 3 years? Yeah. So obviously we have more, don't judge me, more better days.
Yes. More better.
More better. You have more better days.
Yes.
I don't know how else to say that.
Yep. Yeah, so I do my best not to get supercharged, right? And when I am supercharged about, and the word trigger can be triggering.
Yeah.
And so I really talked a little bit more about it as being, there's a charge there.
Yeah.
There's a big charge, WTF.
Sure.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. How did this happen to me? Yeah.
And so the coaching group that I work with on every week on Wednesdays, it was like, we want to, especially as growing and evolving healthcare providers and humans and all that, we want to really dissect and live in it and like figure it out right now. What if we just stopped, knowing that in the end it'll make sense? In the end of our life, it'll make sense.
Yeah. I
don't want to wait until the end of the life to make sense of it, but what if I just, instead of let it go, let it be? Not
Bang.
let it go.
Okay, where's the mic?
Drop. Mic drop.
Okay, you need to
Not
repeat
let
that.
it go.
You need to repeat that.
Not let it go, because that's something active.
Okay.
To let things, I get chills again.
Yeah.
Not let it go, but
Okay.
just let it be.
Are you guys resonating with that?
Yeah,
like
it's a big deal.
That was
a big shift.
Incredible. That really is a huge reframe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like you're saying, and man, that hits soon, because maybe I said this to you last night when we were texting. I'm like, I just want to be done with it.
Yeah.
I want to be done with the pain. I want to
Yep.
be done. So I'm trying to
activity.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to let go, but I need to let it be.
Yeah.
I remember. Did you ever see the movie A Beautiful Mind?
Yeah.
And I remember at the end of the movie, if you never saw it, it's an incredible movie. And he had schizophrenia or something, right?
Yeah.
He struggled with it, and he had these multiple personalities that took him over. And at the end of the movie, it showed him living this beautiful life and it's a true story, living this beautiful life with him and his family and his kids. And there were the three characters that would take him over, and they constantly were still there, but they were off in the distance everywhere he went. And he would just look, and they would just kind of be there. And he was able to let them be, but would not allow them to take him over.
Yeah.
So I was telling you, I think in pictures a lot.
Yeah.
And that image,
I think too, like if those three people that are sitting in the distance, you try and let them go, like get away from me. That's so different than just they're part of it.
Yeah. Because they are
they're
here
part
to
of
teach
this
us,
beautiful
right?
Story.
So what have you learned so far?
What kind
Is there
of
a
weighted
lesson?
question?
Is there a lesson we can? I don't know what I've learned so far. So I don't know.
There's no real answer to that except for what I want to do is number one, and we talked about this, is continue to say yes to as many rich, rewarding experiences as possible. Remember those three filters?
Share that. Okay. So share that. You guys are gonna love this. Okay. Tell this story.
So, rich, rewarding experiences is you're parking.
Is that here? No, we haven't been here 2 hours, have we?
I'm sure.
Okay, but we have 15 minutes. Okay, we're good. We're still good. Yeah.
So my whole focus in life is to have rich, rewarding experiences. That's what I drive my life by. And if I can say yes to an invite of some sort, then I say yes. But I have 3 filters.
This is great. You're going to love this.
Okay, these are my 3 filters. Number 1, I will say yes unless it leaves a permanent scar. That's legit.
Bad scar. Yeah.
I choose to say yes unless it will land me in jail. So that's the second filter. And I will say yes unless it hurts my credit score.
I love it.
So those are my 3
Recap
filters.
it. So say it again.
So permanent scar.
Okay.
Land me in jail.
Okay.
Hurt my credit score.
Beautiful.
Other than that, the answer is yes.
Yes. Okay. Which is interesting to me since you're claiming to be an introvert. I would feel like the filters would be much bigger.
I know. And so people are, as the years have gone by, they're like, how did you get involved in skydiving, climbing to the top of Kilimanjaro, surfing in Ecuador, like all these things? I'm like, I just figure out how to say yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
As long as those 2 filters.
I would never jump out of a plane because...
Which means she probably should.
No. Because somehow, I'm going to add a fourth thing to that. It would make me shit my pants.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
Soil your pants.
Soil yourself.
Soil yourself. Okay, that might be a 4.
So we have 4.
Well, that's borderline. We're going to put that on borderline. We are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soil yourself. Yeah.
YOLO. I'm just saying.
That's right. Yeah. Kilimanjaro. I could do that.
Yeah.
That would be freaking cool, right? Mm-hmm. Or Bali. Maybe we should go to Bali together.
Yeah. Maybe
that would be super cool.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll try not to reveal too many, but we should take those 2 tickets I was speaking about earlier and just the 2 of us go.
I think so. I think so too. Yes. Like some epic trip. Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with everybody? Like, let people know where to follow you, how we can stay connected.
So I'm on socials all the time. So Facebook is Dr. Erica Peabody Chiropractor, as well as Instagram. Also on YouTube, which you can actually see lots of different things, but the summit of Kilimanjaro, I have a short little 18-minute documentary there.
I'll put that link in the show notes.
We'll do that.
Too. Yeah.
And then my office is Cafe of Life Chiropractic in Fenton, Michigan, right in the heart of downtown.
She has a beautiful office.
Visit.
I finally got to visit.
Yeah.
Literally a dream come true what she's created, a holistic health center. So if you're up in that area, it's wonderful.
Yeah, so that's Peabody Center for Wellbeing. I'm trying to think what else. One of my biggest goals as a chiropractor is to become and stay approachable healthcare. So that means if you're connected with me on socials and you have a question about your health, about the health of somebody in your life, about all the things, like I choose to be approachable. So if we're at the yoga studio or I'm at the gym and somebody says, hey, I have a question about my life, my health, I'm here for it. I'm just here for it. Yeah. So yeah,
I love it. That's awesome. And so I do a Sunday night Q&A on YouTube.
You do?
Live Q&A on YouTube, and it's for those reasons.
Yes.
So people can jump in and ask questions.
Yeah.
Personally, now listen, I also choose to be approachable, but sometimes when you go to a social event and people are like, what do you think about, I had this, and I'm like, not the time or place. Because these are usually the people who only want to extract information and suck your energy and not actually do a thing. Yeah. And after 25 and 18 years, I'm like, there's certain levels of approachable that I will allow. I'm kind of, not to say I'm not approachable, but I'm just saying, like, if you come up to me at an inopportune time, I might say, why don't you call the office?
Yeah, call the office on
if
Monday.
I say,
call the office
on Monday, you know it's not the right time. Doesn't mean I'm not approachable.
Yes. So usually when I'm out and about, people will say, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a cartographer.
Oh my God.
Because there's nothing else to say to that.
Right.
I make maps.
Right. I love it.
But if you say I'm a chiropractor, then the next thing that people say is, I got this thing.
Yeah, I got this thing. Yeah.
So I'm a cartographer. So
yeah, I love that.
if I say I make maps, then you're like,
I'm going to make up some alter ego thing too. I love it.
I'm a cartographer.
I want to just say before we sign off, I'm going to show this over here. See that sign? It says, "It was all a dream."
Oh,
I know.
See that.
Yeah, I've been watching it because
What's that about?
Because how many times have I been thinking to myself, I wish this was just a dream, but it's not. And there are lessons to be learned, and there are lives to inspire and people to impact. Again, I feel like the universe has taken us deeper because we have a greater purpose.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be okay in time.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get through it.
What do
We'll
they
figure
say?
it out.
It's okay. It'll be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end.
Look at you dropping bombs. Oh my gosh.
I live by that.
Oh my gosh.
If it's not okay, it'll be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end.
And what was the previous one? Don't let it go, let it be?
Let it be.
Okay, don't let it go, let it be, and it'll be okay in the end. And if it's not, it's not the end. I love it.
Oh.
It's amazing. Oh my girl, this is so beautiful. I'm so glad we had this opportunity.
I know, me too. And 25 years.
I know, 18.
25.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
What an honor to spend our anniversaries together. This was really
Cheers to that.
and again, it was serendipitous. We did not plan to spend our anniversaries together. It just turned out that way. So, so listen, stay connected. I'm going to drop all the information in the show notes. If you have any comments, we would love to hear your feedback, and share this video because I think what Eric and I are going through, what we've been through. It's just a lesson of what is your story of resilience? How are you able to get up every day and keep going? And I think that's really the biggest lesson is, do you let it take you down, or do you beat it down and move forward, right?
I think it's just one step at a time.
Yeah.
And you cannot always see the end, but just the next right step.
Yes.
Just take the next right step.
I had some friends say, a girlfriend was going through a really bad divorce, and she said, some people say take it day by day, and there's times when you're like, it's minute by minute.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. Yeah. Give yourself, again, that grace. You don't have to take on the whole day. Right. If it's the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes, the next 2 hours, just give yourself, honor honor what you're going through, and breathe. Yeah. Right? I think
some oxygen.
Yes, for sure. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much, and I love this girl so much, and we're going to be doing some really cool stuff together.
We'll be together.
We're already planning our trips. Exactly.
Hopefully we'll see you around.
Okay, let's give a thumbs up because I think that'll be a good end frame. Okay, ready? Wait, here we go. Oh, thumbs up and all right.
And the champagne. Wait, what's this called?
This is a French 76. All right, quick story.
Okay.
My good friend, Dr. Christine Zapata, she practices out in Seattle.
Yep.
She turned me on to French 75s, which is gin, and it's lemon juice, a little bit of simple syrup shaken. They pour it in a glass, and they top it with sparkling wine. So then I discovered, and I was like, I don't like gin, but I tried it, and I was like,
oh, that works out.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And then I discovered a French 76, which means instead of the simple syrup, they use elderflower liqueur.
Love it.
And they're right there. So thank you to Dr. Christine Zapata. We're going to tag her in this video, and she's going to be like, yeah. So, all right, you guys, have an amazing day. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching, tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.